Now, I want you to have a listen to this email that I got from a lady called Judith. And by the way, if there's anything you'd like to bring up on the programme, at any time, you can call our hotline on 6689731, or you can email the programme phoneshow@fm104.ie. So if there's something you want to bring up tomorrow, call us right now on that number, 6689731. If there's anything you'd like to bring up on the show, give it a go. Anyway, this is an email that I got from Judith. Adrian, my blood is boiling over the current situation with my sister. She's a single mother with 2 teenage boys, one of whom is unfortunately abusive towards her. When he asks her for money for drink or smokes and she doesn't give it to him, he becomes violent towards her. I know for a fact that he's hit her at least twice, once by throwing a shoe at her head. Yet she continues to allow him to live under her roof. I've told her umpteen times to get him out of the house and get a barring order on him, but she refuses to kick him out of the house. This 16-year-old is a little shit, and I'm afraid of what he will do to my sister next. Any advice? And that is from a lady called Judith. Now, if you're somebody who has lived through that, or is living through that, how have you coped? Maybe you actually did throw out your teenager. And if so, what happened? Rick, you're on FM104. How are you, Rick?
Yeah, not too bad, yourself.
No, I'm grand, thank you, Rick. Now, okay, you've just heard that email from Judith, afraid for her sister's safety because of her abusive son. What did you want to say on this?
No, I was just going to say, when I was 16, I came home drunk one night. I mean, I don't actually remember coming home. I just remember waking up in the police station. I was just like, well, totally different clothes to what I actually went out in. So I presumed I went home. Went round my friend's house, didn't want to go home because I didn't know what I'd done. Found out I'd actually pushed my mum down the stairs. So...
And what happened? You went home and started hitting your mother?
I mean, I honestly don't remember leaving the pub or anything like that. I mean, I don't remember going home. I just remember waking up in the police station, totally different clothes, and finding out that I pushed my mum down the stairs.
You pushed your mother down the stairs?
Yeah. Yes.
That's something I wouldn't say you're too proud of.
Oh, no, I couldn't face her it took me about 6 or 7 months for me to actually be able to look at her in the face and speak to her properly. I couldn't speak to her. She was phoning me, but I couldn't do it.
So you arrived home drunk out of your mind. Mother obviously had a go, she said...
I think she was trying to get me to go upstairs, and I was sort of walking towards the stairs, and I just ended up pushing her downstairs.
And what, she called the guards, did she?
Well, this was back in England, so yeah. Yeah, I mean, the police came and took me away, that was that. And,
okay, was that a one-off?
Well, that was the only time it happened.
That's what I'm saying. It was.
After that, she kicked me out.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, I spent a week in sort of it was like a hostel place. Which was difficult because I was in full-time work and full-time college at the same time.
Okay, so you pushed your mother down the stairs. She called the police. You got arrested, got sent to some hostel place. And did you never live with your mother again after that?
I've lived with her since. That was when I was about 19. I lived with her for about 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
But we're getting great now.
Thank God.
But this... I don't know what I did.
But as I said, this was a one-off thing. This wasn't an ongoing... In other words, what I'm trying to find out is how do people cope?
The drunken thing had been going on. I had been coming home, 2 or 3 nights a week. Younger brothers and sisters, obviously me being the oldest, I'm coming home legless every night. She starts moaning, but then one night, obviously, it just got out of hand.
Right. What do you think mothers or fathers or whatever should do if they're in that situation where they are being abused by their own children? And I know this is actually frighteningly common.
I mean, at the time, I absolutely, they shouldn't have called the police, blah, 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 but, it's whatever happens at the time, I don't think you can really set a rule for sort of certain things because each family's different.
All right, Tony, you're on FM104. How are you, Tony?
How are you, Adrian? How are you?
Thank you, Tony. Now, your sister is putting up with this sort of thing as well.
Oh, she's putting up with Adrian every day of the week. If he comes in, she hasn't got his dinner ready, or if there's no money for it, he's blow his hash that he smokes. There's murder in the house. He's giving her awful abuse now. This is going on now about 6-8 months since he got in with this other gang he's in with, you know.
And tell me what she has to put up with. Tell me the sort of abuse she suffers.
Oh, banging doors. She can't leave her purse around. She called the police 3 times. They keep letting him out, and when she sees him on the street, then she has to take him in then because she feels sorry for him. I'm sick time not to just leave him out. And, you know, tough love, Adrian, you know.
What age is the young fella?
He's 16.
He's 16.
Yeah, and he gave her a black eye there last week. And she only had €8 and he wanted 15 off her.
And he hit her a dig?
Hit her a dig and walked straight out the door. She got the police and off him, but still she dropped the charges then and still has him in the house.
And how do you feel about that?
I'm sick talking to her, Adrian. I sit her down and I talk to her, I talk to him, I tell him, and it goes in one ear and out the other, you know.
So this is an ongoing thing?
An ongoing, Adrian, yeah. Ongoing, not non-stop. And I think it's disgraceful, you know. There's a lot of 16-year-olds out there that's doing this to their mothers, you know.
Because I have to say, it makes me sick when I hear of people, of people being abusive, particularly towards their mothers.
After all the trouble you have with bringing them up, Adrian, you know, and then for them to turn around and start doing that to them, you know. It's disgraceful.
And do you think she should kick her son out?
Oh yeah, Adrian. Yeah, I years ago now when I didn't got my mother, I like the same thing for hash money, and if she hadn't got it, you know, run amok, and she threw me out, and I learned my lesson after 3 months. I come back and I never done it again. You know.
So you think she should be tougher against him? She shouldn't. How often do you think this is happening? How often do you think he's abusive towards her?
About 3 or 4 times a week he's doing it.
Really? That often?
Yeah, that often. Yeah, he gives her an awful life. In front, she's another 5-year-old and an 8-year-old, and they have to listen to it as well, you know. And
she does nothing about it.
No, she's terrified, Adrian. She doesn't know what he's going to do, or you know what he's going to do with these gangs he's with and that, you know. Since he got in with these other young police, you know.
God over, that sounds awful.
Yeah, Adrian, I know. That's why I said I'd ring in and let you know, you know. But there is an awful lot of people, young fellas out there that's doing it to their mothers.
All right, stay there for 1 second. 6797104 is our telephone number. John, you're on FM104. How are you, John?
Hello, Adrian. All right?
Grand, thanks, John. It says on my screen here, and I hope this isn't true, regularly hits his mother. Why do you do that?
Adrian, I'm living with my mother at home, and I give her €25 a week, and if she doesn't get me smokes and me stuff in the shop, there's no other way of getting her to get her to do it for me, Adrian. I don't hit her regularly now, but she knows that I'm capable of doing it because I've done it in the past. And she knows I give her €25 a week, and if she doesn't go up, and if she's in the shops and she doesn't get what I want, she knows, and I always get a lend off her on the weekends, and I never pay her back.
You never pay her back? And what age are you?
I'm 25, Adrian.
You're 25?
25, and also, if I'm bringing somebody over, like say for example a board or anything, I just tell her to go to bed. And that's just the way it's been from a young age, Adrian. And that's being honest with you.
So you give your own mother a dog's life by the sounds of it?
Basically, yeah, but like it's her own fault, Adrian, because she knows that if she doesn't get me stuff in the shop, I'll just...
Well, why? What's wrong with you going and getting the stuff in the shop yourself?
Well, you're right there, Adrian, but I just give her the money, they can say, look, will you get me stuff? And she goes and she gets it all the time, but the odd time now, lately, she hasn't been getting stuff and that's been abusive to her, and she knows it as well, Adrian, and she's old, well, she's not too old, but she's old enough, you know. And that's the God on the shoot, Adrian.
Do you not feel sick with yourself for abusing your mother like that?
Well, Adrian, you know, like at the end of the day, I would think of myself because I don't think anyone else would think about me, you know. So I tell her to do these things. And
but who are you to be telling your mother what to do?
Well, Adrian, that's just the way I was brought up, Adrian. I was brought up in a life like that, you know. and I've been abusive to my mother ever since I was around 16, 17. And she knows now. It's just got to this stage where she just says, okay, I'll get wherever you want, and that's it. Sometimes I don't even give her money. I just tell her to get me the stuff, you know, me smokes and me cans on the weekends as well.
And what's wrong with you doing it yourself, you lazy bastard?
Well, Adrian, I'm on the dole and I only get like, whatever it is, €97. That's not enough, Adrian, you know. That's just, I just give her the time to go to shopping, and she doesn't get the stuff. She knows that I would just get abusive with her. And often I've raised my hand to my mother. I'll be honest with you, I haven't done it now as much as whoever that is talking there or giving the topic, but I would, like, I find it hard not to do it now because I'm used to it, you know.
Obviously no father around.
No, my father's not around, no. That's old, you know, he hasn't been around in years, so.
And you think that it is perfectly acceptable to treat your mother like a dog, because that's what you do. You treat her like a dog.
Well,
you wouldn't smack a dog the way you were talking about.
I wouldn't say that, Adrian. Like, I do have respect for my mother, but...
No, you don't. No, you don't.
Adrian, I just think about myself.
But you don't have respect for your mother.
Like, if I was to bring a girl now over, or wherever, I only live with my mother, I'd tell her to go to bed, and that's...
You just said a second ago you have respect for your mother. You have no respect for your mother.
Well, that's the way I want to say it, Adrian.
Well, no, that's the way I am saying it. You've no respect for your mother. People like you actually make me sick, John. People who think that it's perfectly okay to threaten your mother, to abuse your mother, to intimidate your mother, to try and scare your mother, and then in the same breath say, oh, I love me ma.
Well, Adrian, I never said I love me ma. I just say I have respect for her, but...
You don't have respect for her, though. Why are you telling me lies?
If she knows that, if she doesn't get me stuff in the shop...
Get up off your arse and go and get it yourself.
I give her me money on a Monday morning when they collect me labour, and that's it. She knows what to get for the week, and if she doesn't get it, Adrian, sometimes whatever she did get could be gone by Thursday, and I tell her to get some more, and she says no, she knows that I'll be abusive towards her, Adrian.
You're the biggest dickhead I've ever spoken to on this programme. Do you know that, John? You make me sick. You make me sick because you think what you're doing is normal. Do you think that's normal to treat your mother like a dog?
Adrian, I'm not the only uncle around that. Like, I know.
You're the only one I'm talking to at this moment. Do you think it's okay to treat your mother like a dog?
Well, that's just the way I was brought up, Adrian.
Why? You were brought up to treat your mother like a dog?
Well, that's just the way I was being brought up, Adrian.
Who brought you up like that? Who told you it was okay to treat your mother like a dog?
Adrian, before my father left me, he was always abusive to my mother, and that's all I kept seeing when I was young, so...
But surely you should know that it's not right to be abusive towards your mother after seeing her going through it.
Well, I haven't had a girlfriend or anything to know that, Adrian, so I just see my mother as just the person there to get me stuff, and if she doesn't get me stuff, then she knows that I'll be abusive. Again,
I'm going to ask you one more time, John. Why are you such a lazy dickhead that you can't go and get your stuff yourself?
Adrian, it's just, I suppose she just does it for me, and I know that's there, so I just make sure she does it. It's just a habit now at the moment, you know.
Emma, you wanted to get in on this. How are you, Emma?
Hiya. Can you hear me?
I can hear you perfectly.
John.
Yeah?
You ought to be fucking ashamed of yourself. You ought to hang your head in shame and people stone you to death. You are a disgrace. An absolute disgrace. If you were my child, I'd fucking smother you, let alone run to the shop for you.
Well, Emma, that's just the way I was brought up. I told Adrian, it's just...
Come here, don't be using all them excuses. How old are you, 25?
25, yeah.
I'm 25 years of age. I'm married, I own my own house, and I have 3 children, right? I've never, ever once did that to my mother. My mother died 9 weeks ago, okay? And I swear to God, every one of us treated her like a princess. The woman that deserved to be treated like a princess. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. I feel absolutely heartbroken for your mother. I'd give anything to have my mother sitting here, let alone the way... Do you know, if you were sitting in front of me, I'd probably pick up the nearest thing and hit you with it and probably wouldn't stop hitting you with it. You are an absolute disgrace. Don't be using that crap. Your father was abusing you, your father left you. My father left us. We never hit our mother.
That's just the way I was brought up.
No, don't be using that excuse. That's the way you're brought up. Did your mum bring you up to tell you to hit her, did she?
Well, I was brought up around my father that was doing these things.
So was I.
There's no point.
I never once hit my mother. Neither did any of the other 6 brothers and sisters.
It's my decision, and there's no point in you coming onto the radio giving sob stories. It's just the way it is, you know, right?
Sob
But hang on, you're saying it's just the way it is. It shouldn't be the way it is.
You're an absolute fucking disgrace. You should be hung. Do you know that? Do you know what? The day you put your mother in a coffin, you'll fucking regret it, and I hope it bloody haunts you for the rest of your life. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. Thank God you don't have a girlfriend, because I pity any woman that go near you. If that's the way you treat your mother, what way would you treat a girlfriend?
Well, you know, I can't change.
You can't. Hang on, John. Have you no brain of your own? No?
I do.
Yeah, you've a brain of your own. Does it work? Obviously not very well, but it works. So don't give me this shite about that was the way I was brought up. That's absolute bullshit. That's absolute bull.
There's people brought up in worse situations than yours. There's always someone out there worse off than you. I'm sure they don't hit their mother. You say you have respect for your mother. You don't even have respect for yourself, because if you had respect for yourself, you wouldn't allow yourself to that disgrace to do something like that.
Adrian, on a Monday, I give me mother the money and I tell her to get me.
Wow, big fucking swing, €25 for a woman to run to the shop.
Well,
a woman to run to the shop to get you your smokes. I know what I do. I put rat poison in your bleeding smokes and say, here, love, smoke them.
And Adrian, I get me smokes and me food and stuff, and then, I know that girl saying I do have respect for
you. You don't have respect for your mother, John. You don't. Stop saying that you do, because you don't.
People who have respect for their mothers look after their mothers, not bloody abuse them. I wouldn't dare speak down to my mother.
Sorry?
People just need to realise that's just the way I was brought up.
No, that's bull. I'm sorry. That is absolute. You make me feel sick, you do. Absolutely. There's people that have been abused. Hang on for 1 second. There's people that were abused as kids that don't treat their mothers like that. You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
Well, Adrian, look, I know it's my responsibility and stuff like that, but I've just, I've gone into this situation since I was young, and it's just stuck with me.
Well, why don't you just stop the cycle and change it then? Like, you're sitting there and you're doing it as if it's okay. You're talking about it on the radio station as if it's grand. It's brilliant.
Well, just being honest.
Why don't you move out of your mother's, right? Stop the cycle, go to council, do whatever you have to do and change it.
Well,
spend the rest of your life fucking making up to your mother for what abuse you're giving her.
If my mother didn't want to do the things she's doing.
Because she's no bloody choice. She'd probably get a slap if she doesn't.
Told somebody, me aunties and all come down the house and everything's grand, and she not me
auntie. Grey out that. You probably have the poor woman living in fear. How old is your mother, don't mind me asking?
She's 53.
53? The poor woman's probably living in fear. At that age, she should be going out with her friends, enjoying herself, getting a bit of her life back after having kids.
She does, but she knows that she has to put me first before she gets on.
She doesn't.
No, you should be living. Hang on, you dope. You should be living out in the world all by yourself. You're 25. You're only a sap living at home with your mammy at 25.
You're only a sponge and a waste of space.
Well, Adrian, she does go out with her friends now, to bingo and all.
Oh, do you, lad? Do you, love?
But she knows that, if I'm not happy, then.
Well, I know what I tell you if you weren't happy. Go fuck yourself in the lifty head.
Adrian, if I'm not happy, she knows that she's going to be. She knows that she's going to come home to someone that's going to be abusive. So, if I'm in the house, and there's nothing to eat or anything like that, what am I supposed to do?
Go and get it yourself.
Well, Adrian, I'll have no money by then.
Go and get it yourself.
Job. Go beg if you have to. I'm 25 years of age. I have my own mortgage. I have my own house. I have my own kids. I have my own husband. I wouldn't have dared went and look for anything off me mother like that. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. Go get your own shop and cook your own dinner.
Well,
fucking move out, in fact.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying to him. He's a sap living at home with his mammy at 25.
I'm sure you want your arse white. No, should we send you a box of Pampers, because you'd probably want them next.
Adrian, and I just live with my mother, and I know, that this house will be mine then when she's gone, so I kind of don't want to move out in that situation,
Oh, yeah. Is that all that you won't move out for, because you want a house, love?
Well, yeah, obviously, if only
get out and fucking buy one yourself. Get out and make your own life for your house, and don't be sitting around waiting for your mother to die, because I'll tell you, the day she does, you'll fucking regret.
Alan, you're on FM104. How are you, Alan?
Adrian, how are you doing?
Grand, thank you, Alan. Now, what did you want to say on this?
See that muppet, that lowlife that you had on the phone there a few minutes ago?
Mm-hmm.
That is a towlack. That is an out-and-out towlack. I left my mother's when I was 21 years of age. made a life. I'm with a girl now, 28. She's just gone 28. I'm 43 years of age. I've 4 kids. I have never ever sponged. I know I gave my ma a couple of quid here and there when I was on the dole, when I walked. When I had an extra bit of work, I gave this, I gave that. But that is a low life. I'd like to get him by the neck and squeeze it out of me. Squeeze it so hard, I'd kill the cunt. And that's being honest with you.
I can understand how you feel.
Fucking low life. Is he still there, is he?
Are you still there, John?
Yeah, I'm still here, yeah.
You, here, come here. Where do you live, you fool?
Why do you want to know that for?
You're a fool. You should be shot.
Look, that's just the way my life
You should be shot. What's the way your life? You're a fucking idiot. A fucking
thought that wants to go on the radio and mouth to mouth. That's just the way I do it. Like,
find out where you live. You're a fucking muppet. 25 years of age and you're living with your mother.
that's just the way my mother has me. Like, it's not my fault.
That's where you have your mother. That's where you have her.
She never says no to what she's doing.
Yeah, never says no.
She's probably terrified of you.
What do you do? Fucking hand her fucking ransom?
Adrian, it's just the way it's being planned.
Get out the fucking phone, you dope.
Sorry, what are you saying? It's just the way what?
I said it's just the way it is. Like,
Yeah, it's the way you have your fucking mother, you fool. You're the fucking...
and all these people getting on trying to give it this and that, like, we just...
Because they're right.
You're a fucking...
They're right.
Honestly,
Even Jeremy told you that you're a fucking asshole.
Well, Adrian told him that.
Adrian, you're a tick.
Adrian, these type of people...
What is your mother, 52?
Sorry, what are you trying to say? These type of people what?
These type of people getting on, like, I'm just being honest, these type of people getting on the radio are just jumping on the bandwagon. I know this.
You're a fucking tick, you fucking clown.
Do that to their mothers, Adrian.
How old is your mother? Tell me, how old is your mother?
53.
53.
She's 53 years old.
Your mother 64. And the father 69 years of age.
Well, that's great, isn't it?
70. And if I done that, at living at your age, 25 years of age, I done that to my ma. And my ma and dad were separated, and I done that to my mother. Do you know what happened? I'd be shot. I'd be killed.
Well, look, what's your name again?
You see, John, I've said this on the program before. Anybody who doesn't have respect for their mother, whatever with their fathers, their mothers.
Send them to the shops. Doing this.
Anyone who
smokes, don't get drink.
Anyone who doesn't have respect for their mothers and treats their mother in the way in which you do is a clown. An absolute clown. Living at home with Mammy and telling Mammy to go to the shops for you. What sort of a sap are you?
Well, here, look at. If I was separated from her, I have a wife now, right? I've 4 kids, Adrian. Right?
I don't care about your family, to be honest.
No, well, hang on, I do. Go on, Alan, go on.
I have kids, and I can tell you one thing. If I separated from my wife, and I went to my mother at 43 years of age, and told her to go to the shop, do you know what you'd say?
I can only imagine.
She'd fucking shoot me. You're a fucking muppet.
All right, let me go to Alison. You're on FM104. How are you, Alison?
Hey, I'm Grant. Can I talk to John, please?
You can, because I'm going to be getting rid of him off the phone in a minute because I'm sick listening to him, to be honest with you. But go on.
John, I tell you, if you were my son, I brought you into this world. If I was your man, I'd take you out quick enough, you dirty lowlife. I have 2 small kids, and I tell you one thing. If they grew up to your age and put their hand on me, I would kill them stone dead.
Well, look,
I brought them into this life, and if they hit me, I would take them out quick enough. You dirty lowlife. Meet me down the lane. Give your man a break. Meet me down the lane, and I tell you one thing. I'll knock you off your feet.
right, fair enough, you have your opinion now, but look...
You have my opinion? What sort of fella are you getting on the radio and bragging that you hit your ma?
I'm just being honest.
Brag that you hit your ma at 25 years of age? You don't deserve your life.
Well, I'm just getting on to Adrian's show and I'm being honest.
You're being honest.
Unlike the
You need to be put down. You need to be put down. Meet me down in alley and try put your hands on me.
Look, you're a brave woman getting on the radio.
I'm a brave woman. I'd say this to your face, you dirty piece of shit.
Adrian, I'm getting on your radio station and I'm being honest. I'm not going to sit here and lie and pretend I'm the great son that I am.
No, because you're clearly not that. You're not that.
But you can't. You don't deserve your life, you piece of shit.
Listen to me, Adrian, it's just the way I was brought up.
Just the way you are brought up. So you're blaming your ma on you hitting her and treating her like that.
And have you any brothers or sisters, John?
No, I'm an only child, Adrian.
And that's the payback you give your mother for raising you.
Adrian, look, I learned from my father when I was younger, and it's brought up, obviously.
Should you not have been looking at your dad and saying that is wrong, I'll go in the opposite direction and do the right thing?
At that age, I seen that, and when I seen him doing that when I was younger, I just thought that was right, because I was at the age.
But hang on, you
have a choice in life.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. You're 25 now. You know it's not right.
Well, Adrian,
unless you've absolutely no brain, you know it's not right.
Adrian, all these people getting on your show being abusive to me, I'm just...
They're dead right to. They're dead right to. I could stay here, I could stay here all night taking calls from people who want to have a go at you. Because you're disgusting.
Want to go? I wouldn't only want to speak words to this fella, I'd love to knock him out.
Adrian, she talks for Ireland, that one. Look,
I talk for Ireland, do I? Well, meet me somewhere and I'll talk. I'll do more than fucking talk.
Adrian.
Listen, John, to be honest with you, I've had enough of talking to you. I really have. I just find you sickening to listen to. I find you absolutely sickening to listen to. So you can get off the phone now. I've really had enough. I hope that mother of yours is listening, and I hope that mother of yours picks up the phone and reports you to the guards, because you're vile, you are. Absolutely vile. Alison, that mother of his isn't the only one that puts up with this crap.
Well, it's disgusting. It is disgusting. I think you have a choice in life. That's my opinion. You have a choice in life, whether you see that or not. That's your choice to whether to go down that road or to go the opposite way and go down the right road. It's disgusting. If my kids are only small, but if they grew up like that, I swear to God, the day that they ever put their hands on me is the day they can F off. Not that they ever would. Well,
all right, stay there for a second. Let me go to Grace. You're on FM104. Grace, how are you?
Hi, Adrian. The same thing. My mother was in the same position as that fella's mother, but my mother's 75. Now, my brother was 50, divorced, and went back to live with my mother, but he took over the whole house. I had to get a social worker. We had to actually kidnap her out of her home and take her over to my home one evening while he was there. The dirt and filth in my poor mother. He ostracized the whole family from the house. He just took over the whole... This is a counsellor. He's a drugs counsellor. But and if my mother came back with eggs, she had to go out to shop for stuff for him. He used to hand her €20 a week, and it was free for hairs on his back. My poor mother had to rub the hairs in his back, baby oil, this and that. And if she brought back eggs or bread, and there was eggs and bread there from the day before, they were smashed literally on the floor.
God, no wonder he ended up getting divorced.
No, I know, but he was. We got I'm shaking here now after listening to him, but we got I ended up getting a social worker. It took me about 6 to 8 weeks to get a social worker. Brought the social worker over to my home to see my mother. And then when she went to meet him, the social worker went to meet him, he's a lovely fella, and this and that, he's a good looking fella, but good looks to me and nothing, they don't respect your parents. But then we had to go to a place called Dolphin House, which is a horrible place, and my poor mother at that age, she's a stroke victim. She can barely walk, and we had to go in there. When we got the Barden order, I went up to the police station, and a detective went down and got him out of the house there. Gave him an hour to get out of the house there. And that was only a couple of months ago. But my mother will never be the same, because we don't know what else he put her through. And the same thing when he... And
did he get arrested? Has he been charged?
No, Adrian. He's blessed that he wasn't locked up in prison. But he... when I heard that fella saying that if he brings somebody over to the house that he puts his mother to bed, he had my mother on tranquilizers that would knock my mother out for the night. Dalmain 30s or something. He went down to her doctor and got those, and my poor mother, it sleep right through. And it was just, he was bringing different wands back all the time. A big macho man.
Well, exactly like that fool.
But I'd say, well, at least...
Sorry, Grace, was your mother terrified of him?
Pardon?
Was your mother terrified of him?
She still... I brought her over to my apartment, And my children are grown up. I'm 47, my eldest is 27, and I have 4 grandchildren, but I brought her over, she thought she was in heaven. I gave her the bedroom, and then one morning I went in, just to check on her, and there she's sitting at the edge of the bed, and I said, what? She said, I'm afraid to come out. I said, no, you're not with your bully now. I said, no, you're not with your bully now. And I said, so you come out, and I said, you're not to be afraid here, I said to her. You've not at all to be afraid here, I said, says I. And I kept her here for, I think, 8 weeks. Even though he was gone, I kept her here for 8 weeks till we got the locks changed. You want to see the state he left the house in? She's holes in the roof. There was holes in the bathroom floor. She's only out of hospital after having a hip operation, so we have her downstairs now. But the way he left the place, wallpaper on doors and everything, Adrian. You've no idea, honestly.
Yeah, what I find so shocking about this is listening to that guy, John, and listening to your story. This is actually so much more common than we think it is. That there are parents at home, some older, some younger, putting up with this sort of abuse from their own kids.
Yeah, and my mother never went out to pubs. She'd 16 of us, 16 pregnancies. That was my mother's life. And we had a happy childhood. We had nothing. But we were happy. I have happy memories of it. And what do we call it? Respect begins in the home, Adrian. And if you don't respect your parents...
That's exactly the point that I would make to anybody who has ever abused their parents in this way.
Well, I have two...
Even if you fall out with your parents, you should still have respect for them.
Yeah. You respect... We were brought up to respect the elderly. And that's the way it goes. Do you know what I mean? Now, I know the kids nowadays don't, but I raised 4 children myself. My eldest is 27. They have their own lives, their own places. They're married with their children. But the same, they're like the policemen, but if they ever lifted their hand to me, now I'm only slim, but if they ever lifted, they know better now. Do you know what I mean? They're not that tight as they would to anyway. But I can only imagine what that poor mother's going through. If that poor mother's listening, she just gets to her nearest...
Well, in fact, I'm about to talk to a woman who went through this. Mary, you're on FM104. How are you, Mary?
Hi, Adrian.
Now, Mary, you actually did go through this.
I did, yeah. My eldest son, he had problems growing up, and I had the HSE involved. You have to excuse me, I'm a bit nervous talking. It's my first time. But the HSE was involved, and basically they said to me they had no place to put him. But I had other children living in the house, and they were prepared to remove my other children from the house for safety. I had the house smashed up. He got in trouble with the guards and that.
And what age was he at this stage?
About 14, 15.
Mm-hmm.
He literally, our lives were just, he made our lives miserable. And there was curfews put in place. He got in trouble with the guards and that, meddled in a few bits of drugs and whatever. And I put my foot down one day and I said I didn't want anything brought into the house. There was other kids here. And he picked up a baseball bat and bet me black and blue. So I had him charged.
At 16?
At 16.
Now, that has to have been a difficult thing for you to do, was it?
It was, but when it came down to my other children being removed from the house for safety, and, they were innocent, that's where I said, this can't go on. Because I knew the next step was that he'd go a step further and he could end up pulling a knife on us. One of us was going to end up dead.
And what happened then? He was charged with assault.
Yeah.
What was he sentenced?
He served 18 months. Yeah. But at the time when he was in court, they asked was I going to provide an address for when he came out, and I said no.
And what has happened since?
Well, he lived with friends of his and that, and they put a protection order in place and a barring order. He wasn't allowed near the house, or he did on a couple of occasions try to make contact, and he was basically told that he wasn't allowed to make contact, and that was it.
And have you heard from him since?
Through other people, I've heard he's all right.
Do you worry about him?
I worry about his own safety, yes, but at the end of the day, we had to function normally. It wasn't fair on other two children that was here at the time.
And how long ago was this?
About 3 years ago.
About 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And you literally, since he was jailed, you haven't heard anything about him since?
No, just that.
Well, you haven't seen him since?
I haven't seen him since, no.
And one of the things that this conversation came up from a lady called Judith sending me an email concerned about her sister. Yeah. Are you happy that you did what you did?
It was a very difficult decision, but I had to put our safety first and the safety of the other children that were in the house. So at the end of the day, it was the right decision because he was just in and out of trouble with the law constantly, and he didn't see the dangers that were involved, and he was getting more and more involved with gangs here and gangs there, and wouldn't obey any rules of the house or curfews that were put in place, and it was disastrous. So
what would you advise anybody listening to us now who's in that tragic situation? Because I have to say, it really bothers me when I hear of people kids being that abusive towards their parents. What would you advise somebody listening to us right now who's going through this exact thing?
Not to take it, not when there's aggressive and abusive behaviour, but especially aggressive behaviour and violence and that. Because it just gets worse. A fourth time will lead to a second time and a third time, and at the end of the day, they played the system very well. I mean, at the end of the day, my son knew how to beat the system. He knew there was nothing, there was no funding there. The HSE couldn't help. The guards did everything that they could. They talked to him, and he didn't want to know. It was his way or no way. But it does get worse, and I mean, to lash out or throw something or put a fist through a wall or smash up the house, it just goes from one thing to another. It gets worse.
So don't put up with it?
No. Definitely not.
Let me just read out this text. My name is Ryan. I'm 16. And I'm telling you, you're not getting both sides of the story. Sometimes I hit my mum, but only for a good reason. But I don't hit her that hard, so she's grand. In other words, there's a young fella of 16 who actually... So you can get that little muppet on the phone there, lads. He won't have the balls to answer the phone, I'm sure, but I'd love to talk to him. A 16-year-old who, just like that moron on earlier on, thinks it's okay.
Yeah.
Thinks nothing of it. Thinks it's just like hitting one of your mates a dig.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, there's no remorse there. I mean, whatever about doing it and having remorse, but, I mean...
Well, here, hang on there for 1 second. Let me talk to this young fella. Ryan.
Yeah, well, sorry.
You hit your mother as well, do you?
Yeah, but you're not getting both sides of the story.
What's the other side of the story then? Tell me.
No, if you have plans for weeks and they don't let you out, seriously, that's just pissing annoying.
Yeah, and move out. Yeah, or get off the phone, actually. I don't really want to talk to you either. I feel sick. Mary, you did what you had to do.
I did, yeah.
You don't regret doing what you did?
No. Do
you ever see a time that your son can be in your life again?
I don't know. Maybe someday he'll come to his senses, but at the moment he's still out there getting up to all sorts. So it was the right decision as far as I was concerned.
Well, look, I wish...
I still had other children to care for.
No, and I appreciate that. Mary, I really wish you well, and maybe your story will be an inspiration for other people going through the exact same thing.
Hopefully, Adrian.
Nice to talk to you, Mary. Thanks very much indeed.
Thanks, Adrian. Bye-bye.